of the hour to you. Yes, welcome to Newsbuster NGTV right here in the city of Lagos. This is where we give you all content ranging from programming and, of course, information that will keep you locked down as long as you are able to always watch, to always enjoy, and to always be a part of the world with the things going around you and around your community. Welcome to Crime Watch right here on Newsbuster NGTV. Yes, this is where we talk everything that has to do with crime, the way to manage, the way we curb, and of course the way forward right here in Lagos and in Nigeria. Sometimes we tend to want to go out of Nigeria, but today, well, we are going to be talking about pipeline vandalization, and of course we will also beam our searchlight on the 2023 general election. It's going to be a big one in the studio. Trust me, I would definitely not be here alone. I am here with a big fish. Every time I come online, you know, now I come online, I come with a very big fish, and this is a very big one. We are talking about, let me just do my hand like this. When I do like this, I know you would remember what I have to say. Oga at the top. Yes, NSCDC. Yeah, you remember my Oga at the top. Okay, this is my Oga at the top. This afternoon, yes, I am talking to one of the big fishes in Nigerian Civil Defense and Security Corps, NSCDC, right here in Lagos Command. Yes, we are talking. Let me give him the honor to introduce himself and tell us how big he is. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Yes, well, by a way of introduction, I am simply and humbly Deputy Superintendent of Corps, Oluwasefunmi, the Public Relations Officer, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Lagos State Command. Thank you.
How do you personally relate with the public?
Yes, in relating with the public, you need to first get intelligence about the communities around you, about the state where you perform your operational activities, and tend to come down to the people in a bit to know them a bit better. And in doing so, community relations is key in advancing public relations, getting to know the challenges people face, getting to understand feedbacks about our operations and operational activities, about our officers and men, their mode of operandi, their conduct, and all of that. So community relations is key. We relate very, very much with the community people. We get feedbacks from them, especially in tackling oil pipeline vandalism, protecting critical national assets and infrastructure in Lagos State, be it the ones owned by the federal government, state government, or local government.
So can you say categorically that you have been touching on the grassroots?
Very sincerely, one of the things that go for civil defense is that we still remain that organization that Nigerians love. We are so popular in the hearts of...
You are popular.
We are so popular in the hearts of Nigerians because of the way we conduct ourselves, because of the way we behave. We are civil in our nature, just from our name, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps. So we are civil. We relate to people. We believe so much in integrity. We believe so much in credibility, and that is what is going for us.
All right, talking about your rank and talking about your present position, because sometimes, you know, in life we feel like you uniform men, you have to pass certain stages, and you know, when you get to want to see probably the PRO of a command or a commission, you get to see an older person, maybe someone like 60, maybe less than 60, say like 52. And how were you able to attain this position? Because I'm looking at you right now, I feel like you are youth, or are you an old man?
Yes, the United Nations describes age brackets for youth, and it's clearly stated between the ages of 18 and 59.
Okay.
If you look at the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps very vividly, you discover that we are an organization that allows the youth to manifest their talent, their gifts, Surely God-given talent. We are an organization that allow people to exhibit what they have in a bid to bring, impact not only to the core but also to the nation at large. And that's among so many other reasons have brought me here by the grace of God. And we won't take it for granted. We'll continue to do our best to ensure that we deliver security, to the state and also to the nation at large.
All right, talking about security in the state, Lagos State, pipeline vandalization. Sometimes we see these things and we just go past them. Other people see it and see it as a big deal. In other parts of the state across Nigeria, like Delta State, let me quote and unquote, the issue of vandalization in that insecurity capacity is much. Now, coming down to Lagos State, how is it that you curb this act of vandalization and, pipeline issues and problems?
Yes, let me first of all rewrite the statement or correct the impression
Okay.
that there is much vandalism in one state as against the other. One thing you must appreciate government for is the establishment of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps as as a regular paramilitary organization in Nigeria in 2003 by an act of the National Assembly and also an amendment act rather in 2007. Government deemed it so fit that there should be a special corps that would monitor our pipelines, that will protect critical national assets and infrastructure. And that the corps is doing in all the states of the Federation. Very, very well. In Lagos State, for example, we have upped our games, we have upscaled strategies and tactics to ensure that there is no such day you wake up and you begin to panic as a result of fire explosion resulting from oil pipeline vandalism or what have you. And this is not far-fetched. It has to do with the units and department that are saddled with this responsibility and all officers and men who are deployed to ensure this protection of critical national assets and infrastructure. You have the right of ways in different parts of the state. Right of ways means areas where pipelines pass, within the state. And these are critical areas. And you must expect us to do our job the way we have been saddled. And that's what we keep doing. You have the anti-vandal unit, you have the critical national asset and infrastructure department, C9 department, who is also saddled with this safety and security. In a twinkling of an eye, by the time we get a call, or even via surveillance patrol, operational patrol, or intelligence gathering and information by the intelligence department of the command, we just swing into action to ensure that we reduce or probably eradicate the issues of oil pipeline vandalism in the state.
Talking about sometimes, when you go on the field or to the field, depending on which way you make your operation, sometimes, when you see these smugglers and you recover products from them, do you return it to where they got it from or to the government or to your office? Because sometimes in Nigeria, there's this talk about, you recover loot, things that have been stolen and they take it to where God knows. Sometimes you see some looted funds that, okay, we have recovered a particular amount of money from the Abacha treasury, and no one is hearing about the money. No one is seeing what the government is using the money to do. Is it that you guys recover these materials, maybe like petrol? Do you fill your tanks with it? How do you do it? Do you return it or you use it?
Yes, the comparison you just made are two different things. And we just want to say very clearly that the slogan of civil defense still remains what it is: humility, integrity in service delivery. We believe so much in the system and we do our job with absolute integrity. When things such as illegal petroleum products and the likes are recovered, what is expected of us is to evacuate them, safe evacuation, back to base, back to the command. The command has exhibit yard where we keep them for as exhibits, because you must also know and note that the organization, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, is a prosecuting agency. We have the right to prosecute offenders who have committed such offenses alongside economic sabotage, such as vandalism, smuggling of illegal petroleum products, and the rest of that. So when we evacuate, it gives us the ample opportunity to investigate the matter further than the arrest that we make, so that there won't be mistakes. And while investigation is going on, we also carry along relevant government agencies, such as the DPR, so that testing can be done to know the content that is in, to know the level of adulteration and what have you, so that we will be prosecuting the right thing. So that at the end of the day, it will be a win-win for government. Having said that, we don't leave any stone unturned. We prosecute. We have a legal department that does that.
How fast is your prosecution process?
Yes, it's as fast as the judicial system of Nigeria.
Okay.
Ours is just to prosecute and ensure that justice is served, justice is done. And we also look for other offenders in case there are syndicates. We don't
Because
stop
in
at...
Nigeria, there are some cases that, there are some cases of, I really don't want to cite like an example right now, but there are pending cases that just at the end of the day get swept under the rug.
Yes, one thing you must also appreciate is you must appreciate the judicial system of Nigeria. Amidst several criminal cases, they are doing their best to ensure that litigation is gotten, prosecutorial processes are fast and all of that. So we must continue to support the system, we must continue to do our best to ensure that everything that is needed by the system, by the judicial system, is made available so that they can also do their job. So it's on all hands. Everyone must bring, what is required to the table. All hands must be on deck to ensure smooth justice system and the rest of that.
How do you corroborate, or should I say, how do you join forces with other security, outfits in Lagos State, to curb crime?
Yes, you must give it to the state commandant, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps, Lagos State Command, Commandant Idenabo Koro Eweka Douglas, MSc, ACMA, CNA, for his laudable efforts, for his laudable achievement in the area of interagency collaboration, in the area of interagency cooperation. You will not recall any incidents in Lagos State Command under the watch of Commandant Eweka where you have interagency clash. It has not happened. We don't have such record under his watch. And the reasons are not far-fetched. He rose very well. He parleys very well with all commanders of other services in the state, from the Commissioner of Police, who is a very humble and very sagacious senior officer, the paramilitary agencies in Lagos. You can begin to name them: Federal Road Safety Corps, Immigration Service, Correctional Service, Fire Service. We all work hand in hand because security is collective. It's not individual. No agency in Lagos is trying to outshine the other. We are not trying to get vainglory for ourselves. And in civil defense, we don't believe in vainglory. We believe strictly in professionalism. We believe strictly in get the job done. Like my commander will tell you, the reward for hard work is more work. He will always tell you that get my job done, I'll be happy with you. So we believe everything that we need to do to get the job done, including synergizing with other sister agencies, so that in Lagos State, we can really be the name that Lagos is called, which is the state of excellence. Excellence must be seen here, and that's what we pretend.
Talk about your achievements so far in the command.
Yes, looking at the enormous achievements in Lagos State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps under Commandant Idenabo Koro Eweka Douglas, MSc, CMA, CNA, you want to begin to look at different areas in line with the functions and the mandates of the service. Are you talking about oil pipeline vandalism in Lagos? It has reduced or simply eradicated in Lagos State. You look at fire explosion that often emanates as a result of oil pipeline vandalism. You can hardly hear that anymore. There's no fire explosion anywhere resulting from oil pipeline vandalism because we have been able to relate with stakeholders. Going back to the question you asked earlier, in the area concerning community relations, as how we do our job and how we adequately perform in the state. We relate so much with even the community stakeholders, the community development associations and community development. All of them come together, to relate with the civil defense in Lagos. Not only that, the area of private guard companies. You see some guards who are not, some private guard company who are not licensed. You can't see that in Lagos. Okay. We are always on their neck to ensure that they renew their licenses, to ensure that they are trained and retrained. We do advocacy. We do a lot of symposia to ensure that all of these people get the up-to-date global international standard of how the private security industry needed to be run. And that's what we do in Lagos State Command. And you see us also busting the smugglers of Indian hemp, which is also known as, of cannabis sativa, also known as Indian hemp, and some other drug dealers in the state who probably hide through the marine as if they are ferrying legal products in and out of the state. But because our anti-vandal unit and marine unit is always there 24/7 to beam their torchlight, and we get rid of them a lot of the time. And it's a result of synergy between the core and the NDLEA. A lot of kudos goes to the chairman of NDLEA, retired Brigadier General Buba Mara.
Okay, thank you so very much. So before I talk about your possible disadvantages, because I know that there would be disadvantages. While you were speaking, you talked about the fact that you get to inspect, certain places from time to time. Do you have the sole right, to be on the Nigerian roads to conduct like a public search? You see that like the Nigerian Police Force or the Road Safety Commission, we always get to, or even in Lagos State, we have the LASMA. We get to see them on our roads where they search, they stop. We want to check your license. What are the things you do when you go for like a stop and search? What are your rights?
Yes, let me just educate the listeners and viewers and the general public.
Okay.
When it comes to protection of critical national assets and infrastructure, which may probably make a tanker to be stopped on the road, for example, all you need to do as an officer on duty deployed from the anti-vandal unit is to check for their way bills, to know the exact point where those products were loaded from and the exact point where it is going, and also the content that is inside the truck. So other relevant security agencies are starting their responsibilities to take care of the road. I'm sure you talk about.
You don't have businesses with private car
No.
owners,
That's not our job.
Stop and search.
That's not
your license, your this, your that.
That's not our job.
So when we find like an NSCDC man on the road,
you will not find. We would not find because we always are often trained on what to do.
Okay.
You will not find.
So we'll definitely look out for that. Now let's talk about your challenges, because sometimes when you talk about an advantage of something, it will definitely have like a disadvantage. What are the things that you face that you feel that you need improvements to?
Yes, first, let us give kudos to the government in power today under the leadership of the President of the nation, President Muhammadu Buhari, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, GCFR, for oftentimes supporting the corps. Very recently, not too recently, you see the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps incurring speedboats that can be used to fight oil pipeline vandalism in the state.
You didn't have it before.
We used to have, but we are saying that you must continue to upscale your logistics. You must continue to upscale your operational logistics to ensure safety, protection of lives and property in the country. And that's what the government is doing. Just recently, some boats were commissioned in Rivers State by the Minister of Interior, Honorable Minister of Interior, Benny Rauf Adesoji Aregbesola, and being witnessed by the Commandant General of the Corps CG Ahmed Abakar, the PhD MNI OFR, and some other senior officers, and the commands that were also called upon to come and take delivery of the boat. And luckily for Lagos State Command, the commander Lagos State Command was also there for the commissioning and to also take delivery of the boat for Lagos State Command. And these will in turn help to fight oil pipeline vandalism. And immediately we swing into action. It was inaugurated in Lagos on the IC there, and arrests started coming in. Kudos to the CG for such, because with that it also boosts the morale of the anti-vandal unit and also the marine team to ensure that our waterways are safe and we protect our critical national assets and infrastructure.
All right, we'll take another short break now, and of course when we come back we will talk about the challenges facing the NSCDC Lagos State Command. Do stick around.
Our very distinguished dignitaries here present. You can also rise while the very radiant that is going on right here in Okemoson, Abeokuta, the Civil Defense College of Security Management. So colorful. Rachael, FSI, FISN. I think it is now a custom now that we know that when the color approaches, very distinguished senior officers here present, kindly rise in honor.
Welcome back. So we were talking about the challenges. What are the possible challenges of facing, the command in Lagos State?
An agency of government, you must understand that we wait on government to give us the required logistics that are needed for either operational activities, administrative activities, and what have you. And to the best of my knowledge, we must appreciate, we must extol the federal government of Nigeria. We must also extol the Commandant General Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps for oftentimes coming to our beck and call anytime there is need for operational logistics and the rest of that. As well, Lagos State also needs to be pan-Nigerianized, looking at what the Lagos State Security Trust Fund has done to the command and has done for the command, especially under the regime of Commandant Edenabo Koro Erika Douglas, MSCAC, MSCNA. Besides all of this, we discover that you cannot always have all that you need. But within the few that we have, we are saddled with responsibility to discharge our duties judiciously and also meritoriously. And that's what we do in Lagos State.
So talking about the challenges facing recruitment and promotions, because sometimes you see people they just, maybe just like someone can come from the blues and open a website and like, okay, if you want to apply for NSCDC, just, they end up extorting money from people, and challenges of promotion. I am due for promotion, I am not getting it. How is the command addressing these issues?
Yes, when it comes to the issues of recruitment and promotion, though they are separate words and they are separate captions, you must understand that the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, like any other public service, is guided and guarded by the public service rules, which connote standard operating procedures, condition of service for officers and men who are in the service, and other extant laws. We must be mindful of the word recruitment. Recruitment means, according to the PSR 020201 rule, the filling of vacancies by appointment of those who have not served or worked in the civil service of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. So there must be vacancy before there is recruitment. So recruitments are subject to vacancies and authorization by the head of ministry / extra ministerial office. So you now begin to see that the major thing is, what is the modus of operandi? How is the recruitment exercise done? In fact, civil defense has been adjudged as one of the organizations that is fair and transparent, or most transparent, in its recruitment process.
Yes.
And the facts are not far-fetched. There is a dedicated online platform for applicants for these jobs, showing them what to do, telling them what to fill, and all of that. And when they fill it, the screening process begins. The Federal Character Commission is there, and other relevant stakeholders of government, to ensure that you have a transparent recruitment exercise. And don't forget, the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps is also supervised by the board, and the board is just Civil Defense, Correctional, Fire, and Immigration Services Board, what you also acronym as CDCFIB. The board is saddled with that responsibility to ensure a smooth and transparent recruitment process, so that you won't have hula balloos, you won't have complaints at the end of the day. Even during the just concluded recruitment that we had, what has been termed the 2019 recruitment, though there were some slowness as a result of COVID-19, which everybody knows what COVID-19 is all about in the nation. It has its impact on virtually all the sectors of the nation. And it snowballed into 2022. At the end of the day, NIN was also asked for, so that it can remove the issues or the bottlenecks of biometric, fraudulent biometrics and fraudulent identities. That is how far the Minister of Interior has gone to ensure a smooth and transparent recruitment process in civil defense. We must give him kudos for doing that for the Corps. I must also give kudos to the Commandant General for doing that for the Corps. And the requirements for recruitment are also spelled out in the PSR, especially in 020-2205. That rule states clearly what are the requirements for anyone to get into the job or get into the service. Age, height, you must have the required certificate, required academic or educational certificate to do so. You must also have medical fitness certificate from an authorized health provider. And what have you? The requirements are spelled out, and people have to meet it. And when you talk about maybe there were favoritism or nepotism, it is not true in civil defense, especially with the last.
We call it backyard runs.
No, whoever is doing that, they should be warned. They should be warned, because to be forewarned is to be forearmed. They should be warned not to continue to do such. By the time you continue to perpetrate patronize stouts, rather, you discover that you are just losing your handed money. A lot of people are in the service, young, radiant officers, intellectual, especially with these last recruitment, who never paid a dime to anyone, who never met anyone. Some of them will tell you their experience. I'm happy to wear this uniform. Sincerely speaking, I've had interactions with them. I've had opportunity and privilege by the commandant to lecture them during the period where their training was still ongoing. And they all had a very colorful and ceremonious passing out parade, POP, at the end of the day, where you have different services being represented, and also the government being represented at the passing out parade of this one.
So is the promotion, can we say promotion, of staff and, workers, is it fair enough?
As a matter of fact, I've just been promoted by the same organization. So if they are fair to me, they are fair to so many. There are so many people that can attest to the fairness. There are so many people that can attest to the meticulousness of the board. There are so many people that can attest to the privilege, because we count ourselves worthy and being privileged to be promoted. Because when you write promotions are competitive. You need to write exam, you need to pass the exam. You need also to be eligible. There's a waiting period. Okay. You must be eligible for promotion. If you are not eligible for promotion and you are saying you have not been promoted, I think questions need to be raised, questions need to be asked. So we are using this opportunity to tell the viewers at home that the organization is that one which believes in integrity, believes in hard work, believes in passion, believes in meticulousness, and will always reward those that have distinguished themselves in whatever area or the other.
All right, talking about promotion, your promotion, I think before I go into your promotion, would you say that there are bad eggs in the command? Would you say, we'll talk about the level of corruption in the command so far?
Yes. One thing we must first of all lay as a foundation is that in this country, as big or large as the country is, when you want to look at public organization, the Nigerian Security Civil Defense Corps has been awarded not only locally but globally for being among one of the very few organizations, either security organization or not, in the nation that still depicts integrity, that depicts humility. We are civil in our nature. Even the NSAS protest, you see Nigerians giving us water, giving us soft drinks, encouraging us, because we do our jobs professionally.
You don't use ammunitions.
We have a section of the corps that uses arms and ammunition, and that is called the Arms Squad. It is stated clearly in the act that establishes the corps. So for you to know those that use arms and those that don't use arms, and that is what we use to ensure that we protect the critical national infrastructure and other responsibilities of government that we have been saddled to do.
Okay, so recently you were awarded, or you were made the best performing officer within the Southwest region amongst your peers in the Nigerian, Security and Civil Defense Corps. Best performing PRO from the CG. It's a big one. Best performing officer, West, Southwest region. How did you come about that?
Yes, we want to seize the opportunity.
Because when I saw you, I was thinking, okay, maybe he has two heads, and do you have two heads?
Well, we want to seize the opportunity to extol and panegyrize the erudite scholar, indefatigable, sagacious, dogged and rugged crime buster of our time, Commandant General Ahmed Abubakar Audi, PhD, MNI, OFR, for allowing the Department of Public Relations in Civil Defense to function to optimal capacity, especially with the just concluded Strategic Communication Conference 2022 that was held at the national headquarters of the Corps around 2nd to 4th November, just early this month. That made or gave us the privilege to be rewarded and also to be retrained. Because one thing you cannot take away or wish away from the service is that this Commandant General, erudite scholar, has invested so much in training and retraining of officers and men, making him to also curate for the first time the Special Female Squad, which has been lauded by the Minister of Interior and also the federal government at large.
So how do you feel being, awarded the best performing officer?
Yes, I think the right caption is the most outstanding NSCDC PRO Southwest Zone.
Do you carry cameras along when you're discharging your duties,
Okay, one thing emphatically I like to say is that I try as much as possible to learn from everyone I see. I'm a good listener. I'm a good reader. I'm a good researcher. And I try to learn from everyone I see, no matter how big, no matter how small. Because life itself is all about learning, unlearning, and also relearning. And as a result of that, the interactions that I have had, the learnings that I have had, the studies I've had made me to understand that when you are good at whatever you do, recognition will come to you. And I must say here emphatically that the award came as a surprise, because I only went to the national quota to get more knowledge from very veteran journalists and other professionals who were, packaged for us to train us at the training. Don't forget, the training also had both the PROs and the state command and their state commandants alongside. So, being with our state commandants and the commandant general and the senior officers in national quota, you can only go there to refill your spirit, you fill your intellectual mind. But it was amazing to me and very dazing to me when I heard my name was being called to pick up such an award. So I take it very sincerely. I take it with a very, very joyful spirit. And I want to sincerely say that it was for me and so many other of my colleagues, because I was not the only one that was awarded. Other of my colleagues were also awarded from the different geopolitical zones that are remaining in the country. So it will support us, all of us, including those of us that are not, even the people that are not awarded, we see our very good PROs amongst ourselves. We are doing fantastically well. And we believe that it will support all of us. It's to boost our morale, to continue to do more, to continue to remain so loyal to the service, give our best to the service, and ensure that the flag of NSCDC continues to fly, within the sector of the security architecture of this nation, locally and internationally.
Thank you very much. Just before I let you go, because I know our time is fast spent, in less than 90 days, Nigeria would witness, let me say, a dawn of a new day. Talking about the 2023 general elections, what are the measures put in place by the NSCDC Lagos State Command to cover, insecurity issues, the different challenges that come with electioneering periods, and of course, the likes of voting?
Yes, the words of the Commandant General CG Ahmed Abubakar Audi, PhD, eminent OFR, is clear regarding election. If you continue to follow the news just recently, he has made it clear that synergy, robust collaboration and cooperation among security agencies cannot be overemphasized, cannot be wished away in these coming general elections in the year 2023. If we must achieve free, credible, and successful fair election, we must collaborate. And that's we are doing so very well in the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps. The Corps itself will endeavor to do everything within its powers and responsibilities to ensure the life of voters are secured, to ensure that we partner with the lead agency in internal security, which is the Nigerian Police Force, to ensure that the elections are well monitored, the voters are well protected, ballot boxes and other INEC materials are also well protected, and at the end of the day, to be a win-win for the nation and a win-win for the citizens. And I believe by the grace of God, because we must not wish away God out of whatever we do humanly, by the grace of God, Nigeria will come out best for it, and Nigeria will come out great for it. It will be another election year that will just come and go, and life will continue.
So you're telling me categorically now that you are prepared?
The Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps is prepared to work with other security agencies to ensure protection of lives and property during the election, and also to ensure the security and safety of lives and property of INEC materials, the voters, and everything will go on smooth. We can assure you.
Okay.
We can assure you.
All right, thank you so very much, because this is definitely where we'll be drawing the curtains for the show today. Thank you for being a part of Crime Watch today. I had a lovely time out with you, I must confess. And I hope that maybe some other time when I call you,
that's our job.
Always come and pass us most of this because you have it a lot. I don't want to let you go, but we just have to go.
Hey, that's our job. We must do it.
Do you have your social media handles? If maybe the community members or someone wants to reach out to you or to the commission, they have a complaint, they have maybe like a whistleblowing, how can we reach out to you?
Yes, the official website of the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps is on its social media handle, and we have it as www.nscdc.gov.ng. It's also on Facebook, it's also on Twitter, it's also on Co-op, and so many other social media handles. In Lagos State, you have cdcom_Lagos at nscdc.gov.ng, and we're also on Facebook, we're also on Twitter, we're also on Instagram. You can check us out. The public relations officer is also open to the public for whatever complaints, whatever feedback, contributions. We are ready to learn from the public so that we can make this nation great.
Your name and, of course, your position before you leave.
I'm still my humble self, Deputy Superintendent of Corps, Oluwasefunmi, Public Relations Officer, Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, Lagos State Command. Thank you so much, viewers.
All right, so thank you so very much for being a part of our day today. I hope you had fun, because I definitely had fun. Sometimes in life, we don't need to listen to them say. Hearsay can actually, bring about certain informations that are already being altered. You can just get it from the source. You need any information further after the show, reach out to their website. And of course, it's flying under the screen right now. You can reach out to them and make your complaints, comments, and of course, observation. Do not forget to follow us at Newsbuster NGTV across all social media platforms. You can also advertise your goods, products, and services. You can invite us for your events, and of course, we can be a part of your day-to-day activities. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and of course, hit the notification button. Until next time, when I will come your way again on Crime Watch, my name is Olayinka Olatunji, saying many thanks for being a part of the program. Do have yourself a lovely day. Bye for now.